wanna keep it low now. If you wanna go, let's go. Let's wrap it up and hit the road. 'Cause I wanna drive through the summer night. And when we golden summers.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. It's been a while.
Yeah, I had to find the camera and dust it off.
As many of you know, it has been 4 months?
About 4 months, yeah.
4 months since we have posted our last YouTube video. And we thought it was way overdue for a life update, I guess I would call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we just wanted to check in with all of you on YouTube and thank you all for your patience and kind of let you know what's been going on here at Camp David. Where should we start?
Well, a lot has happened. I was thinking our last episode that we did was when we had the big mudslide up in the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
So it was probably the most adventurous episode we've ever posted.
Yeah.
And at least we didn't leave like a cliffhanger like, did they survive or something like that? Because we didn't plan at the time to not actually continue to post after that point. But that was a pretty big adventure for us. And it was a lot of fun, but boy, were we exhausted after that one, I think.
Yeah, we had been gone a full week and we had just gotten home. And like Luke said, it was a big adventure. I don't think we planned it to turn out the way that it did.
It was so fun though.
Yeah, for those of you possibly wondering, we'll link that down below for you if you're interested in seeing that video. But since then, we have not posted, and it's just because once we got home, life just started and hasn't stopped.
Yeah, because right after that, the kids started back into school, and we officially have 2 high schoolers in our house now, which still blows my mind.
Yes.
But
yeah, so 2 high schoolers, and for you who follow us, we homeschool our high schoolers. And with that, I am finding out comes a lot more work, and I've always been involved, but the involvement seems to have even gotten to be more, and also because of the program that we use, I'm also in the leadership role with that, so that has taken a lot of my time. But through that whole transition, I just kind of stopped picking up the camera, not vlogging as much, and I would say it was like we were going through this transition of having 2 high schoolers, and it reminded me of when we first started vlogging.
Yeah. It was sort of like a new phase for us.
It was. When we first started vlogging, in our very first episode, I talked about how we are in this big change phase of our life, and our kids were at a certain stage in their lives, and we were really just trying to regroup. And that's when we started vlogging, and that's what we've got, I think, 3 years worth of vlogs out of.
Yeah.
And the reason why we decided to start vlogging was to capture all those memories of this transition phase of us moving back to Colorado, getting really set in our lives here again. And I feel like over the past 4 months, we went through another phase, and it took me a while to kind of adjust and really just, I had to be present, and I stopped picking up the camera. And it's given me time to think that I think I started questioning, why are we vlogging? And I was starting to worry that I didn't have a lot to really show or to say, and through the 4 months we've actually had a lot of things happen. And we don't have them on video.
Not all of them. Some of them we do, but not all of them. We've made a few feeble attempts to actually pick up the camera and start vlogging. I think we did one. I know one time I took the camera outside and walked around like the garden and the chicken coops and just tried to capture some of what's going on with that. But probably not footage that we'll ever use. A few things like that.
Kenya, I was trying to deal with the bees. Kenya got stung by a bee in the eye.
Yeah, that was awful.
That was pretty bad.
Not in the eye, but like right next to her eye.
Yeah, not
or
in.
eyebrow.
I'm sorry, it was on the eye, so it was like up in this area of her eye. But before that, yes, we started school. So we have a freshman and a sophomore, and that took a lot of time on all of our part as well. What else?
Well, then one day we came home from church on a Sunday night because we had picked the kids up from youth, and Jill went to let the dogs out on our back deck. And all of a sudden, I'm inside and the kids are inside, and we hear like this faint screaming, yelling sound, not screaming, but like yelling sound. And I'm like, that's Jill. And I ran out to the back, and Jill was on the ground, and she had fallen, missed the last stair off the deck, or the 2 steps, and she broke her ankle. And if you, if you remember, she's broken her ankle before, so we probably didn't need another video of you recovering from a broken ankle, but it was the other ankle, so she's mixing it up now. You know, we have some variety. So.
I think the ankle was feeling left out, and maybe I felt unbalanced, so
so now
I've officially broken both ankles.
Yeah, in the period of like 2 years. So the first one was her tripping on one of the kids' shoes that was left out in the house, but this one was missing the stairs. But that was kind of scary because we didn't know how bad it was, but we got there, and it actually was a pretty mild break because you recovered pretty quickly from
it. Was the same break that I had on the other ankle, so no surgery was required.
But crutches and a boot and all that stuff.
And going through that, so you've been traveling a lot, and you've had a change as well too.
I have?
Well, you don't have to go into the office anymore.
Well, yeah, but that started before we stopped vlogging. But yeah, my job has changed a bit, so I'm still with the same company and everything, but I work from home more now, and that's actually been a real change for us just as a family, because my previous job was extremely demanding with me being outside of the house and being in the office a lot, and now it's like went from one extreme to the other. So now I'm home all the time, and I'm trying to make sure that my family doesn't get sick of me being home all the time. But we took the schoolroom that you've probably seen before and are in the process of converting that into my office.
Yes.
And because the kids don't really do school in the schoolroom, they kind of just do school wherever, sometimes here right at this table. And it's been a nice adjustment. I have had to travel a little bit more, but not a lot, like one or two trips a month. And that's been good, because then they get a little bit of a break from me.
No, I think it's been great having you around, but that was the other reason. When school started, I was also trying to transition the schoolroom that we had into the office, and so it was just, I don't want to call it chaos, but it's like chaos. The schoolroom threw up all over our house. And I had to get that under control. So we've adjusted to that, and it's fun because Luke will come out after one of his meetings, and we're all sitting here doing school, and all of a sudden we look up and there you are.
And I'm staring at them, and it's really quiet in here, and they're all working and busy, and I'm like, what are we doing? Can we turn some music on or something?
And we're like, no!
They're like, leave us alone.
So it's been great having you around. Kenya had her first hunt.
Oh yes, so Kenya really wanted to go hunting and start learning how to hunt, and a friend of ours has offered to kind of help her learn, and so she decided to not just hunt but actually do archery. So she bow and arrow, and she got her bow. She's been practicing a lot, and she actually got a chance to go up into the mountains with our friend, and we went
and
along.
All of us,
and she learned how to hunt, so the basics of it, and actually went out there every day and went for it.
Yeah, so we're really proud of her that way, and it's fun to see her take a new passion that she's found. The last year she's really gotten interest in archery, and she started it with 4-H, and she wants to, like Luke said, hunt. So it's been fun watching her grow in that area. And while we were up there, I celebrated a birthday.
That was a great camping trip too.
Yeah.
We were way up in the mountains, and we were really far away from anything.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful place. The fall colors were unbelievable, and Jill always loves the fall colors, and of course we got to enjoy them on her birthday, so that was cool.
Yes. And I went camping with a broken ankle. So
yeah, on crutches.
On crutches. But before that, also, we celebrated 19 years of marriage.
We had an anniversary, yep.
So next year's the big 2-0.
Yeah, we got to start planning for that one. I
Yeah.
don't know what we're going to do yet.
Yeah. The kids, at this new stage, we're finding out they're kind of finding their own thing, and they're going their own different directions. And with that going their own different directions, they're dragging us in all those directions because we are still the ones that are transporting them. Kenya has been very involved in leading worship in the youth group at our church. And Lincoln has been extremely involved in the tech side of it as well. He's running cameras and sound booths. So Sunday nights they are at youth and keeping very busy that way. Kenya is doing mock trial again this year for her high school competition team. And Lincoln has found a new passion, and he's starting basketball. He's actually going to play on one of the local teams here at one of the high schools. And what's fun about it is we get to go to all the high schools that I played at when I played sports in high school. So
because Jill grew up around this area, so some of the same schools, it was all the same schools that were competing. So,
and he's still doing Civil Air Patrol and all of that. So they've kept us very busy in those activities. And with driving everywhere, I unfortunately was involved in a car accident as well.
This just happened a few days ago.
Yes. So it was not my fault, but I was on the highway and the car in front of me came to an abrupt stop. I was able to get stopped and not make contact with them. But unfortunately, a very large truck behind me was going, I don't know, really fast, and was unable to get stopped and rear-ended me. And I had Kenya and a friend in the back of the vehicle. But I'm glad to say we are okay, but we're trying to...
No one was injured, which is
that was
amazing.
A miracle and a blessing.
But we have a car that's in the shop right now, and we're just trying to figure out exactly what we're going to end up doing with that. So, you know, it's one of those things where we have to figure out if it's totaled or if they're going to fix it. So
yeah, so we're down to one car.
Well, we have a rental, but
yeah, off and on.
Yeah. the thing is if they do have to repair it, it could be months, because you might know this, but all the shops are really backed up, so it takes a while to get things fixed.
Yeah. Have I covered everything?
No, there's probably so many things that have happened that we haven't covered, but the point is, it's been a lot, and we could have kept the camera going through all of that, but we didn't. And
I didn't pick it up.
And we kept talking about doing it, and we kept thinking we need to pick up the camera and capture what's going on, and I need to edit, and we need to post, and it just didn't happen. And that does happen sometimes. It
does. And what it really came down to is anytime I thought about grabbing the camera, I was like, is this really is this really interesting?
Was it worth capturing?
And was it worth capturing? And I kept going further and further away of why we were doing our channel and where we're at in this stage of life. Also, we keep our kids' interest in mind with this as well. So it's been so sweet of all of you. We do want to thank you all for, I know on our Tribe of Mini and on Papa's Kitchen, you guys have been adding in the comments, where's Camp David? Are they okay? And we have been getting those comments
on my Instagram.
On Luke's Instagram, we see the comments of, are you guys still posting? Are you still doing YouTube? And it's really brought Luke and I down to the fact of sitting down and asking ourselves where we're at in our life and where the kids are at in their life. And we've sat down and asked ourselves, is this something that we're going to keep doing? And I think we've come to a decision, and going back to why we really created this channel to begin with. And our answer to are we going to keep doing YouTube is yes, we are. But it's going to be a reboot. We kind of feel like it's been long enough that we need to reboot. And we thank all of you for sticking with us. So we are back. We are excited. And the main reason is it brought us back to why we started this to begin with.
We love to have the memories. We really enjoy going back and watching with the kids, watching the videos that we've created, because we get to see the kids at their younger ages. And I've always said, like, if you had the ability to like purchase, you know, a TV episode of your lives with your kids, you know, as they're growing up, how much would you pay for that? And I think the answer is I would give any amount of money to see that, even when they were younger and whatnot. But so that's really why we started it. We love being able to capture these things, and we think they're going to be worth a lot to us in the future.
Yes.
And so we want to keep going. I don't know how often we'll post. We're going to try to post more frequently than,
yes.
or like at least as frequently as we were before. But we just have to buckle down and do it and make it part of our lives again, because it was kind of a nice break just to not have to worry about it and not have to. And it's work, right? But it's work that's worth it.
Yes.
So.
And sitting down and hearing all the things that just happened in 4 months. I know that we're going to look back and say, oh, remember that time, but we don't have it on video now.
Yeah.
So we're happy to say that we are back, and we're excited because actually it's a great time of year. We do a lot of things around Thanksgiving and Christmas.
So one of the things that we just did, like yesterday, is it was harvest day for our turkeys here at Camp David.
It was.
So we were raising 5 turkeys this year. Last year we did 4, so we decided to do 5 this year. Unfortunately, about a week ago or 2 weeks ago, actually just about a week ago, one of our hens, we went out there and she had passed away. We don't know why. It looked like she broke her neck, and with maybe something spooked her or something like that. The other turkeys were all fine, but unfortunately we lost one, and she was a big girl too.
Oh, so that was heartbreaking because it was a week away.
Yeah, a week before harvest day. So. But we did take the other 4 yesterday over to the same place we went last year, and they processed our turkeys, and we picked them up. Now, last year I think our biggest turkeys were like 26 to 28 pounds. We had 2 really big breasted whites, and I was thinking this year they look bigger, but sometimes it's all feathers and you can't really tell.
Right. So
I wasn't sure what was going to happen, and I'm going to show you this picture here. But we picked up our turkeys, and there were 2 25-pounders. Those were the smallest ones in this picture. Then there was a 38-pound turkey, and
that still wasn't the biggest.
We had a 41.5-pound turkey. They couldn't even put it in a normal turkey bag that they used at the processing plant.
They didn't have a bag big enough.
They had to actually wrap it in like cellophane, like plastic wrap,
really well.
Really well. And so that was a lot of meat. So we kept the 38-pounder, and we sold the 2 25-pounders and the 41.5-pounder to our good friends. A few different friends wanted a turkey from us. Yep. And so we are going to go into Thanksgiving ready to figure out how to cook a 38-pound turkey.
Yep. So we have the 38-pounder. I'm sorry, there was no way I was going to try and figure out how to handle that 41-pounder.
The 41, it was like, I can't even show you how big. He would not have fit
in our oven at all. So, but we do have the 38-pounder, and I don't know, Luke and I are still discussing which way we're going to cook him, because last year Luke did one on the Traeger, I did one in the oven. Well, I'll just put it down below for you guys. You guys can check it out if you feel like it. But we're torn now how we want the turkey cooked, because I've always roasted the turkey in the oven until last year.
I think we're gonna smoke them, but
oh, the kids.
I know. We've always every single year Jill has roasted the oven or roasted the turkey in the oven. So, but I don't know. I don't know if this turkey is gonna fit in the oven. It's so big, 38 pounds. But if you have any ideas, we prefer not to cut him in half.
Yeah.
Because we want to set a whole turkey on the table, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, that's a great question. Let us know what's the biggest turkey you guys have ever had for Thanksgiving.
41. I don't think there's a lot out there that'll beat that.
Well, we actually have some friends that cooked a 50-pound turkey.
That's crazy.
No idea how that even happened.
So that's what we have to look forward to for Thanksgiving. Of course, Jill was talking, we have Christmas coming up too. So there's a lot of fun things coming. And we are going to pick up the camera and post. And
so we are so happy to say we are back. We are sticking with YouTube. We're not going anywhere. We have a lot more adventures to be going on with everyone. And thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, we'll see you next time.